Star of the Seas is the newest and largest cruise ship in the world, and today I'll be taking you from top to bottom, deck by deck, for a full tour of the ship, starting up on deck number 15 forward inside the AquaDome. As we begin our walk through the AquaDome, if you enjoyed today's tour of the Star of the Seas, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe for all of the upcoming first looks of this amazing ship as we continue into the actual theater portion of the AquaDome. This is where they do all the crazy aqua theater shows at night. Torque is by far the best aqua theater show I have personally ever experienced, but if you look up behind you, we also have the coastal kitchen that overlooks the AquaDome theater. Off to our left, though, as we continue our little circle through the AquaDome, we have Hooked Seafood, which is one of the specialty dining restaurants here on board Star of the Seas. So if you like seafood, check this place out. I hear it's very good. But of course, all the way in the front, this is where the AquaDome quite literally shines. We have the 270-degree glass AquaDome overlook the ocean and all of the ports wherever you may be. Incredible views. There is by far plenty of seating for your typical sea day, and of course we also have the overlook bar where you can grab yourself a drink and enjoy the views any time of day. I loved coming up here during sunsets during my cruise here on board Star. I always really enjoyed coming up here for sunset time or towards the end of the day. But grab yourself an espresso martini here at the Ryan Bean Bar and enjoy the views as well. AquaDome Marketplace quickly became a favorite on Icon of the Seas and carries over into the Star of the Seas, although with a few changes, as we now have a barbecue section here on board Star of the Seas, which is my personal favorite. The pulled pork and mac and cheese, fantastic. But take a look at the menu here, see if there's anything you like. Fantastic place to eat here on board, and it is free and included in your cruise fare. Skipping up to 17, we have the Coastal Kitchen. Couldn't get in. It is suite guests only. So deck 17 forward above the AquaDome, we'll have Coastal Kitchen. As we make our way out into Cloud 17, you'll find lots of access to lounge chairs to sit out, sunbathe, whatever you want to do, and even some chairs inside this incredible infinity pool that overlooks from way up above. Cloud 17 will also have access to one of the several lime and coconut bars found on board Star of the Seas, so you'll be having quick access to drinks if that's what you're looking for on your little sea day up here on Cloud 17. Also up in Cloud 17, we're also going to find the little martini glass hot tub that we find here on board the Star of the Seas. The deck is going to dead end here where that big crown and anchor is, but it pretty much just extends all the way back with just loungers, so there's no shortage on your sea days of places to lay out in the sun. As the deck dead ends, there is a smoking section down at the end, but we're going to start making our way down the stairs into our next area of the ship, which would be Thrill Island, one of the most exciting and most insane places here on board Star of the Seas. This is home to the Category 6 water park. We're full of 6 different water slides, and they're all incredible in their own ways. The green and the pink are raft slides, 2 incredible ones. There is a yellow free fall slide right next to those. And then, of course, we have the other 3 that are 2 mat racing slides where you lay down on your stomach on a little mat. And then the orange is a free fall water slide that is currently not in operation for unforeseen circumstances. But we're moving on back to the Flow Rider, a favorite here on board Royal Caribbean ships. Made its big debut back in 2006 on board Freedom of the Seas and has continued pretty much to every new ship since. Moving on back, though, all the way to the back, we have the adults-only Hideaway, which has this incredible infinity pool that's suspended over Surfside that's down below. Again, this is adults only, so 18 and older are only allowed back here. We even have the Hideaway bar, of course, so you can grab yourself a drink while you enjoy the sun and relaxation here in the adults only area. And because we're in the back of the ship, you are also going to get some of the best views on the ship. Of course, you can even look all the way down into Surfside and see the wake of the ship as you move on to your next destination in the Caribbean. If you want to show off your putting skills, head over to the Lost Dunes mini golf course. This is a 9-hole mini golf course, and it looks pretty complex, so lots of obstacles and things like that in the way. So head over here if you'd like to show off your competitive side and show off your putting skills. Turning on around, though, we have the sports court, which is actually suspended above the deck where we have base camp down below we'll get to. But this is home to, of course, the basketball court, and as you can see here, they even do pickleball in the morning. And as mentioned, underneath the basketball court, though, we have base camp. This is one of my personal favorites here on board when I sailed on Star of the Seas. Here we have the base camp bar and, of course, the actual food here itself. Smash burgers, hot take, better than Guy's Burgers on Carnival. They also have chicken fingers, tater tots, pretzel bites, all sorts of really good stuff here. Again, my personal favorite here on board Star of the Seas. In the center of the ship between base camp and Category 6, we have Deserted Milkshake Bar, which is the specialty milkshake bar. About $18, which is very steep for a milkshake, but they are very, very large. Comes with tons of toppings on them, so I don't know, it may be worth it. Headed up the port or left side of deck number 16, we have the rock climbing wall. Right across from there, we have some mini table kind of soccer. If you want to play some footsie with the boys but not look too suspicious, try this out. And as we turn around, we have Crown's Edge. Basically a zip line over the edge of the ship. It is absolutely insane, but incredible. You do have to pay for it, but they do give you a free video at the end, so justifies the price. Moving on through deck number 16, we have tons of loungers here up on basically another sun deck, and the casitas as well. They're going to be lined up. You do have to pay for those. It's typically cheaper when you're in port since not as many people are on board, but you do have to pay for it. Looking across to the Royal Bay Pool, we'll get to in just a moment, they do also have morning water aerobics, which we can see going on right here. Moving on to Lime and Coconut. Pro tip, the slushy drinks that you see right there are the same as what you would get in the Pesky Parrot on Utopia and Allure of the Seas. It's the only place on board you can get that. And as I mentioned the casitas earlier, this is actually where you'll check in for your casita if you get one. As we wrap around the Lime and Coconut bar, we have the Swim and Tonic bar. This is a swim-up bar, one of only a few at sea. These are exclusive to the Icon class here with Royal Caribbean. So very, very cool. You got the swim-up bar and lots of little loungers as well to kind of chill in. And even a hot tub. Heading out to deck number 15, this is outside of the AquaDome. We do have some outdoor seating for the AquaDome Marketplace. And this is the big difference between Icon and Star, that hot tub right there. That's it. Here we have another look at one of the Lime and Coconut bars. There are several of them spanning decks 16, 15, and 17. Don't know why I did that out of order, but you get the point. Quick look at some ping pong. And then we have Sprinkles, the ice cream place, right down here where a crew member will serve it to you. As we make our way down the side of deck number 15, it kind of opens up into this little cove. There is infinity pools and hot tubs kind of along the side of the ship here, where it will eventually dead end here in deck 15 midship into one of my personal favorites, El Loco Fresh, the Mexican food buffet where you can grab yourself some nachos, quesadillas, burritos, anything you want, find it here. And as always, built into El Loco Fresh, we have Cantina Fresca, which is just the El Loco Fresh themed bar found right next door. On the opposite side of the structure split, there is the Royal Bay Pool. You can see, as mentioned earlier, they're doing the little morning water aerobics. This is the largest pool at sea with 40,000 gallons of water. Moving on back and inside, we have the Windjammer Marketplace. This is the buffet that you'll find here on board Royal Caribbean ships. Anything you want, breakfast, lunch, dinner, free, included in your cruise fare. Anything you could think of, you'll probably find it here in the Windjammer Marketplace. And what's really cool is similar to Icon, Wonder, and Utopia, the buffet will circle the split structure there, so you get really cool views down on Surfside and on the exterior of the ships as well. Deck 14 forward, we have Vitality at Sea, which is the spa here on board a Star of the Seas. There also is a little juice bar there. The juice and shakes there are included in your drink package if you have that, so keep that in mind. Other than that, 14 all the way down to 8 is going to be cabins. So here on deck number 8, we have the Lincoln Park Supper Club, which is similar to the Empire Supper Club that we found on board Icon, just rethemed here around Chicago instead. Very, very expensive. I think it's roughly about $200 per person, but you get tons and tons of food, lots of cocktails as well, and a really cool atmosphere with lots of live music. Moving to midship here on deck number 8, we have Central Park, one of the iconic pieces of the Oasis class, revitalized and completely redone into the Icon class. First up, we have Chops Grill, which is the specialty steakhouse found on board, so another specialty restaurant. So you do have to pay to eat here, but a very nice meal that you'll find here on Central Park, especially with these outdoor seats. We also have the Trellis Bar, which is an Oasis class favorite, just basically a bar out here on the Central Park if you want to enjoy the Central Park vibes. Across from Chops Grill as well, we have Izumi in the Park, which is one of my favorites. I love the karage chicken here. I always try to get it on the newer Royal Caribbean ships that have this. Basically sushi and ice cream along with dumplings, again, the karage chicken. And of course, the indoor section is, of course, going to be the Izumi Hibachi, the specialty restaurant. So the little Japanese food where they make the food in front of you, love that as well. Moving on, There's a weird face that I just noticed while filming this in that bush there. But here we have a little staircase that actually leads down into the promenade. One of the favorite things about the Icon class is the connectivity between these main neighborhoods. Moving on to Park Cafe, another Oasis class favorite here in the Central Park, made its way into Icon. Not a full-service restaurant, but there is actually breakfast here, very small items, but then, of course, you get your lunch. That is kind of the more popular option here for Park Cafe. We also have a champagne bar found in that little green gazebo thing. We've got a couple luxury shops back in the little corner there, and then if we spin around to the other side, we have Lou's Jazz and Blues, which is the jazz bar and lounge, and that kind of encompasses the whole relaxation and just the chill vibes of Central Park, so I feel like this is a great location for it. Heading straight back through the elevator bank, we have the Surfside. Deck number 8 for Surfside is just this little platform here. Deck number 7 is where we will find Surfside, so let's go ahead and head on down. And if you want to do it the fun way, you can take the little pink slide right there, or if you want to be boring, take the stairs. But at the bottom, we have the arcade, basically your typical normal arcade. You're going to find yourself skee ball, little racing simulators, claw machines, air hockey, all sorts of really fun stuff. So if you want to waste some money, play some games, have at it. Surfside Eatery is another free-to-eat option here on board Star of the Seas. This is like a little kids-themed buffet. You're going to find a lot more sugary options, definitely here for breakfast as well, with sprinkle and chocolate-covered croissants. Ew, but sure. And, of course, you can't forget, similar to Boardwalk, you can't really complete an area like this without the carousel in the middle. This one, of course, is definitely more themed around kids with the little animals and party animal type of things. So really, really cool. Surfside is, of course, very heavily focused on children or younger audiences, so you're going to find a playground right here as well. A lot of the stuff here is going to be high sugar, fun little snacks as well to kind of blend with the area. Here we have Surfside Bites, though, which is one of my personal favorites. The popcorn chicken was fantastic. You can even grab a little bag of churros as well, so really, really cool. Just fun little bite-sized snacks here, but very good. This is always my favorite to go in between meals. Right next door, of course, we can't have a kids-themed area without ice cream. So grab yourself a soft serve ice cream here at Sprinkles on Surfside. The Lemon Post Bar all the way in the back is a kids and adults bar to where you can kind of mix everything in. Of course, because it is a kids area, there are lots of kid-friendly drinks or alcohol-free versions of those drinks. Or you can get the kid drinks with alcohol in it. Pier 7 is an interesting one as it is a specialty dining restaurant. It is relatively cheap compared to the other options here on board Star. But the food is very similar to what you would find here on Surfside. So it's kind of one of those weird things. It wasn't even supposed to be on the ship originally, as a fun fact. But it seems last minute they decided to keep it. I have heard good things about this restaurant. It's just that not many people really go to it. Tucked away in the back corner of Surfside, we have little carnival games back here where you can kind of shoot the little arrows at the little targets there. Didn't even realize this was here. I was looking at a ship that we were next to at sea. So, cool find. As we make our way back through Surfside, we have Sugar Beach as we continue our way forward. If you have a sweet tooth, you want to have some candy while on board, definitely this is the right place. You can even have the little pull-down things where you can fill up a bag of your favorite candies. Deck 7 forward, it will actually dead end, so this not really anywhere else to go forward from here. So we're going to head down to deck number 6 into the Royal Promenade. At the bottom of that little lobby at the bottom of the Flamingo is the Adventure Ocean, which is the kids club found on board. So if you want to enjoy the day, spend some time away from the kids, drop them off here. We're going to actually make our way back first before we enter the Royal Promenade. This is just kind of another store that we have on board. You can actually buy yourself some sunglasses here. They even have some specialty t-shirts. It's like a collaboration with Vineyard Vines, which is really cool. Or even find yourself a little beach bag. Moving on back on deck number 6, we have these Playmakers Sports Bar. You have a little arcade here with a little mini basketball and some skee ball there. Playmakers is one of my personal favorites. I always try to go here at least once on every ship that I go on that has this restaurant. It's very, very good. Absolute Zero is home to the ice skating rink and, of course, the ice show called Soul here on Star of the Seas. Fantastic show. I highly recommend going to see it. All of the entertainment here on board Star is definitely top-notch. Skipping to midship here on the upper level of deck number 6, we have the Royal Promenade, Boleros here on our left-hand side, and the Schooner Bar here on our right-hand side. Here we have a great look at the Pearl. We will actually skip around and get to that here in just a moment, but this is a really, really cool piece of the ship, and it actually serves as a structural point for the ship and everything above it. Giovanni's Italian is another one of my personal favorites. It's a specialty Italian restaurant, so you do have to pay to eat here, but definitely fantastic. And of course, because it is in the Royal Promenade and their emphasis on the natural light here on this class of ship, you get a really, really cool view out on a nice sea day like today. Right outside, of course, we also have the Giovanni's bar. So if you grab a drink while you're at the restaurant, you can either do that or just have one while you pass by. Dueling Pianos is another really popular venue here on board Star of the Seas. This is, of course, Dueling Piano, so two pianists will pretty much play some live music for you guys. They will take song requests and stuff like that, and of course a bar here, so there's always drinks going around. The attic is kind of tucked off in that little corner here. We do have some art pieces around it, but the attic is where you'll actually find the comedy club on board. Deck number 6, all the way forward, we have the Crown Lounge. This is for the Diamond and Up guests for the loyalty program, so couldn't get in. Almost there, though. Wonder of the Seas in November. I'll hit it, finally. Deck 5 forward, we have the Royal Theater, home to the Back to the Future, the musical. Highly recommend it. Do not film in there. They actually have people watching to make sure you don't, so only have that shot of it. Moving on out, though, into the Royal Promenade, the lower level of it, we have the perfume shop and a little jewelry shop as well. Sorrento's Pizza, another one of my personal favorites on any Royal Caribbean ship, and of course, hot take, better than Carnival. Spotlight Karaoke found on the opposite side, of course, of the Sorrento's Pizza. You want to have a little karaoke night, have some fun in here. Try it out. You'll never hear me sing. The collection on the outside of that is just a little purse shop. So if you want to grab yourself a little bag while you're on board, maybe you forgot it at home or something, or just want a new one. Any Royal Caribbean merchandise, you even have like backpacks, mugs, stuffed animals. We even have stuffed sailors. Sailor as in the dog that's on board. Ship models, of course, my personal favorite, Star of the Seas, was actually my 99th ship model, believe it or not. Behind the Pearl, we have the shore excursion desk if you want to book a shore excursion. Then we have Starbucks right across from there if you want to grab yourself a specialty coffee. This is the full Starbucks menu, but it is not included in your loyalty program benefits. So a lot of the times you'll get a discount, 50% off sometimes, at the Pearl Cafe right above. 1400 bar was a really cool tribute to the Icon classes. 1400 is, of course, the lot number or the yard number for Icon of the Seas when being built. And also really cool themed drinks around the Icon class and other previous Royal Caribbean ships, like even the Song of Norway, Voyager, and even more. Making our way into the Pearl, this is like a staircase between the two levels of the promenade, but this is, of course, a really, really neat structure piece to the ship. Each individual tile moves by itself, so 3,000 individually moving tiles throughout this. There is even really cool like noise that pumps through, which is kind of neat, but really cool that it actually is a structure piece to everything above it on the ship. Pearl Cafe is another Icon class favorite. It's basically Cafe Promenade if you're familiar with previous Royal Caribbean ships. So similar thing, it's going to be the Starbucks menu, but you do get your loyalty discounts here. There is even actually an outdoor section of the Royal Promenade that's mainly a seating area, but this section right here actually serves as where you would board the ship on embarkation day in Port Canaveral. So this is actually the gate that you would go through when you get on the ship. This is also where you will find the jogging track as well. It basically loops all the way around the ship. Going back inside though, here we have a look at guest services. If there's anything going on, if you have any issues or you just have any general questions, head on over to guest services. They'll be happy to help. On the opposite side of that, we have the Thorn and Thistle, which is the Irish pub you'll find on board. Also have some live music here, so it's really cool. Sometimes they'll even do bingo and trivia and other things in here as well during the day. If you're having a great time on Star of the Seas and you want to book your next Royal Caribbean cruise, head on over to the next cruise desk, whether you want to book Icon or even Legend for next year in 2026, or if you want to go on Star again, if it was just that good. Head on over to Next Cruise, book your next Royal Caribbean cruise. Across from there, we have the Port Merchants as well, basically just a little liquor store in there. Deck 5, all the way aft, we have the upper level of the main dining room. So it spans decks 3, 4, and up here on deck number 5. So if you're not going to specialty dining or if you're not going to, say, Windjammer or somewhere else around the ship, this is where you would go for dinner. It is included in your cruise fare and it is free, so it is very good as well. Heading outside on deck number 5, all the way forward, actually, this is the fitness center and where you would enter the fitness center. So if you want to go to the gym, work off all those calories from those burgers from base camp or somewhere else, head on up here. I definitely ate way too much food on this cruise. Jumping down to our final deck here, we have deck number 4 with the music hall. It spans decks number 3 and 4, so this is just the upper level of it. Music hall is a giant venue and basically serves as like the nightclub here on board Star of the Seas, so a very popular venue. And last but certainly not least, test your luck here in Casino Royale, do some gambling here on the slot machines, or maybe a hand in blackjack. And that'll conclude our tour of the incredible Star of the Seas, the current world's largest cruise ship and the second ship in the Icon class. Let me know what your thoughts are on the ship down below in the comments, and subscribe to continue following along more first looks of the Star of the Seas. Leave a like as well on this video if you found it useful or if you had just enjoyed the tour. Thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.